Okay, so hopefully you took a picture of the Sol 45 before you put it on your camera so you can see the difference between your shots with your Sweet 50. Let's talk about what makes the Sol 45 one of my favorites and so much fun to use. All right, so we did a lot of experiments with aperture with the Sweet 50. The Sol 45 has a fixed f3.5. That's it. That's all you've got, which is a pretty good size sweet spot of focus for flower photography. Not having to worry about aperture can be a little freeing. It's also really tiny and really light for hand holding. It does bend, not quite as much as your sweets. It sort of bends on the third. And if you don't want to bend it, you just rotate that ring to the left and it locks it if you want that centered focus, okay? So you've got a sweet spot in there, and again, when you're bending, you're moving that sweet spot toward your subject, toward where you want to draw the eye. The other thing, the minimum focus distance is 14 inches.
Now there's two Sols, right?
Thank you. There's the Sol 45. For micro 4/3 cameras, there's a Sol 22, and the minimum focus distance on that is 3.5 inches away, which is pretty darn sweet. Yeah, but for the other cameras, everyone here has a Sol 45. So yeah, but that's the difference. You wouldn't buy that if you don't have a micro 4/3 camera. It's not an option. It's just for a different kind of camera. Okay. But the coolest thing about this is that it has a set of these two little blades in the center that you can pull in front of the lens. At any angle, you can change the angle, or you could have just one at the top or one at the bottom. You know, you can get really creative here. What that does is creates a texture in your background, not on your subject, in your background. So in camera, you're creating a texture, okay? It can, with flowers, sometimes be a little bit too busy. So, but you don't have to use them. If what you want is something in the background that has a lot of detail to it, a lot of lines, and you choose the angle to match those lines. Let's say you have a lot of stems going like this, then choose the angle of your blades to sort of mimic that, to fill that background with a pattern. Or you could just have it in the foreground if you only left the blade at the bottom and pushed the one at the top off. If you push both blades out of the way, this lens has the most soft, gentle blur that I've seen in any Lens Baby. I'm madly in love with it. It's just, there's something different about it, different than any of the others. So I want you to experiment with the blades and without. Try the same subject with the blades and without, and you'll get a feel for it. I don't use the blades for everything, but when I want to add that texture, it's just an unbelievable look, okay? So because you want to include some background for that soft blur and for the effect of the blades to show, your minimum focus distance is 14 inches. So again, you're looking for that separation, remember? Because you want the distance, you want the background blur. Focus on a subject that's going to have a lot in the background to take on that texture. One of my very favorite shots with the Sol is with 2 4s stacked to get really close of a rose. And remember, when you add macro, you reduce depth of field, so just a little bit in focus. So it's don't feel limited to including background. We can give you another macro diopter and let you get even closer. So you're going to try. You guys can bend now. I'll let you bend. Even if you're feeling intimidated by bending, go back to just lock that, and you don't have to worry about it. It's going to stay right in the middle. But unlock it. Do your bends. Get your composition, bend toward the area and focus that you want in focus, and refine your focus. There's your focus. All right, go shoot. Blades, no blades. Feel free to bend. Background, no background. First thoughts with this?
It looks like a stained glass window.
It does. It does. And you see how it's only in the background.
Right.
That looks like rain.
You're right.
It looks like you created rain.
It does, doesn't it?
That was a really good direction, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah. How cool is that?
Yeah. I love it.
In camera.
Love.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy to ever use Photoshop, so everything I do is just straight out of camera.
Well,
this is ideal.
I love Photoshop. Photoshop is fun, but I don't want to spend a whole lot of time. And the beauty of Lens Babies is that sometimes they need absolutely nothing in Lens Baby photos, and that gives me more time to go make photos.
That's my thought. I would rather be out there, right?
Perfect. Good. I think you've definitely got the hang of it, and I love that rain look.
So I know you do a lot of textures. Do you ever just use like that to make a texture?
If you look in my texture collection, now that you could probably recognize it, yes. Yes, I have. Just totally defocus. It's something to think about to add to your texture collection. Yep, totally defocus, not have a subject, and make a texture to print out. Oh, that's cool.
It's kind of trippy.
It really is.
It's not the obvious dahlia either.
No.
They're all cool,
No,
but,
because some of them are so massive. This one's just different. This is the separation, and that one petal is what draws me to it.